So this is a video on retiring and a retirement warning, because I'm going to go over some things that maybe you just don't realize. Now, when you go to the mall, you see all these people my age. They're sitting around in the chairs and on the benches. They've got a cup of coffee. Maybe they're walking around. You see them in the park benches. That's because there's 55 million Americans my age that are retired. And of course, we're baby boomers. 10,000 baby boomers every single day retire. Most of them retire at 62, long before they really should. And here's the hard part to understand. They're so excited to make that retirement that they don't really think about what this really costs, because I'm going to tell you. You listen to this. 8.8 million retired Americans, 65 years and older. 8.8 million retired Americans live in total poverty. That means that they can't afford a house of their own. That means that they're living in someone else's home, at the mercy of someone else. They've had their entire life to put together a nest egg, to build a really good retirement for themselves, and they failed. You're going to see these numbers time and time and time again, that the average American needs $53,500 to retire with a normal American middle-class lifestyle. Now, that's going to give you a cruise or two a year, but you're not going to live lavishly. God help you if the roof goes bad, or you need a new car, or maybe you've got some kind of something happens at the house. Maybe you have a medical emergency, because that's not factored into it. So $53,500, that's what you need in cash flow just to maintain your lifestyle. $53,500. And that's not counting taxes, because Uncle Sam is going to reach into your pocket and he's going to extract his percentage. So if you're retiring, whether it's Social Security or a pension fund or some kind of income stream, Uncle Sam is going to demand a portion of that. So $53,500 is not including the taxes that you're going to pay. And taxes are going to go up. Here's the problem with that. You're going to find that most people rely on Social Security. 41.9 million Americans rely totally on Social Security. 41.9 million Americans. And Social Security is the basis for most people to retire, most of the baby boomers. And they think that Social Security is going to take care of them. They can't wait. They've been adding Social Security in all their lives, building it up every time they're getting a little bit more. But Social Security was never meant as a retirement plan. It was meant to supplement your living. You're going to be living on a farm. You're going to be living with your family. And this was for widows and orphans for more than anything else, if you look back in history. Because the average American, these are stunning. These are really, really amazing statistics. The average American is $1,543 a month. That's what the average American gets in 2021 from a Social Security check. And if you're lucky enough to still be married, you get $2,559. Those are averages coming right out of Social Security. And if you're married, the moment one of you pass away, you lose the other's benefits. You get the highest of the two, but you're automatically probably going to lose a third to a half of your income when your spouse passes away. So it's a double whammy. Not only you lose your spouse, but you lose income. It's terrible. It's a travesty. In the greatest nation in the world, this is what we have. Let me go further and let's talk about this. Now, these are astounding statistics, and I'm going to talk to you, those that are 45 to 54 and 55 to 65. Look at 45 to 54, your average savings coming right out of the Federal Reserve. It's less than $41,000. Now, I know in that age group that you got kids, you got sports, they're going into colleges, they're all need a car, you got insurance, so it's not easy, but you need to start investing because you're never, ever going to save enough money to retire. And retirement, as we keep saying over and over and over again, is a financial decision. It's not an age. I want you to reference my video 81 and Broke. That's going to talk about one of people I knew that had money, and by the time they were 81 years old, they were broke because they didn't plan. Now, you need to talk to your financial advisors. We're here to help you with this, but I'm talking to you guys 45 to 65. That's when you have the greatest opportunity to change your life. Now, we have strategies for that. You can talk to your financial advisor, but take a look and do the math. Now, this is coming right out of the Federal Reserve. This is what the median American has in retirement accounts. Now, keep in mind, we're using median because there's so many upper end that have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that skew our data. So we're using the median. So that's that portion in the middle number where everybody kind of bunches up together. So look at this. When you're 65 to 74, the median in retirement that's going to last you the rest of your life is $148,900. Now, we have seminars. We talk about the fact that we talk about the Bengen rule and the rule of 25 and a 4% rule, and you can go talk to your financial advisor. But they say you can take 4% of your nest egg for 30 years. And after 30 years, your nest egg, of course, is gone, but you've got a reliable source of income for that 30 years. Well, look, I got news for you. $148,900 in median retirement equipment is only $6,000 a year. A year. Let me go back to this last slide. You need $53,500. You only have $2,500, $2,600 if you're married. And if the median is another $500 a month, that gives you $3,100. You're really, really short with how much money you have. And you know what happens? We don't take 4% out. You take $30,000 out of it and you have 5 years. 5 years. Maybe you're going to take $40,000 out and you got 4 years. And then your retirement and your savings are gone. And now you're 70 years old. Now I want you to talk about this. Most Americans are going to live a lot longer than you think. You need to plan on living to 100. The average, now again, we're talking about the average, not the median, but the average. So that's the people in the middle. So the average life expectancy now, right now, April 27th, 2021 is when this was updated. This is a Federal Reserve electronic data research. It says the average American is going to live 78 to 79 years old. And we just talked about the fact you only have $150,000 in retirement, maybe have another $50,000 in savings, and you're going to blow through that in 4 or 5 years. That means by the time you're 70, 71, 72 years old, you are broke. Here we are in the greatest nation on the planet with more wealth accumulated than ever before in human history. And the average baby boomer has less than a couple $100,000. We've done a terrible, terrible job. We've just been absolutely awful. You are going to live a lot longer. You're going to need a lot more money. So I'm telling you, if you do not have your money, do not retire. You will really regret it. One more thing. Let me just go to the next one. We forget about inflation. Now, if you look at my videos, you're going to talk, we've been expecting inflation for a number of years. We've been talking about it. It is here now. Now we just got a cost of living adjustment from Social Security for 3.2%. And now we've got inflation running at 6.2%. So not only was all that cost of living adjustment wiped out, you've actually lost money. And of course, this slide goes all the way back to the 70s. Most of us were there in the 70s. I certainly was. You know, here's this transitory inflation spike that went up to 13.5%. Absolutely wiped out savings, absolutely wiped out bond portfolios, ushered in one of the greatest recessions, destroyed stock portfolios. And we're looking at it right now. Now, is it going to be transitory? Is this only going to be with us 9 months or 10 months? Or is this 8-year spike that we had in the 70s going into the early 80s? That's transitory too if you take it over a really long period of time. So here we are, 6.2%. Is this going to continue to keep going up here? I don't know. But you need to plan on that fact, because one thing we know for sure, if you're going to live 25 years, and again, my wife could live to be 100. She's in great shape. I have to think that my wife needs to have retirement and safety for 35 or 40 years. Yours does too. You have responsibility. If you do not have this put together, do not retire. Now, we have strategies for this, and I'm talking even some baby boomers can take care of this. We have one of the greatest real estate markets we've ever had going on right now. We've got the millennials going into household formation. They are going to put demand out, and we have dislocation of a lot of populations causing demand. A great time for someone who's in retirement to boost that retirement. And I'm going to go over that, and we'll talk about probably the greatest inflation hedge you could possibly have is this: the average American home. They are literally everywhere. Now, certainly here in Phoenix, Arizona, and Maricopa County, we've got tens of thousands of them, but you're going to find them all over the country. So if you're looking to invest, Florida, Texas, or Arizona, going to really give you a boost well above inflation. But buying a single family home for a rental is going to give you an inflation hedge, because the value of that property is going to certainly track inflation. And as a rental, they're going to attract inflation as well. But if you're in the great markets of Florida, Texas, and Arizona, not only are they going to track inflation, but you're going to get that organic growth dynamic. Just having 2 in your portfolio, now we'd like you to have 10. If you read my book, How to Create a Real Estate Money Machine and Retire with Income, they're talking about buying one house every year and getting a minimum of 10 and putting them into a block of properties, into a trust, and they'll last you the rest of your life. That would be a great retirement. But just two properties in your portfolio is going to make a world of difference for you. Now, we're here to help you. Now, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. I would suggest you look at my inflation videos, because inflation is going on now. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. It really, really helps with the algorithms. Love that stuff with YouTube. That'd be really helpful. And if you want to get a little bit of ideas as to how to do this, you're welcome to call us and reach us at michael@michaeldouville.com. But you're welcome to take these 2 books. One is a really good, that's my business plan, because I semi-retired in 1991. And Real Estate Investing for Beginners is going to take you by the hand and help you to decide if this is going to work for you. Now, we're here in Maricopa County. I have a CYA here. My licenses and our licenses are held with West USA. They're a $5.4 billion firm. They keep us in compliance. They do our paperwork. This is our corporate office. You're welcome to reach us. If you need me, I'm at michael@michaeldouville.com. And I am going to wish you my very, very best. Bye-bye now.